We have an exciting year ahead. So I thank all of you sincerely for all of the work that you have done. While evidence of progress is enormous, we have accomplished so much work here together, so much more remains for us to go as a college from good to great. And the remaining work will require hard work, lots of teamwork, many personal sacrifices, and being open to change and lots of new efficiencies. A lot of the work is difficult and complex work that we will do together. We know, all of us know, that the college and our students' experience can and will be better because of our work. We see more potential. The state of our college is unquestionably strong, but we can grow it stronger together. We need to work together in improved ways to achieve our collective vision. We cannot afford to do anything that is not required of us or that does not serve us well. No wasted time, no wasted talent, energy, intellectual capital, or money. We have to be efficient in what we do. And as we approach our college's 50th anniversary in 2017, we face real opportunities in the life of the college. It is not an easy time to be in higher education. This anniversary will fall at a time when Ohio demographics send us the fewest high school graduates we've seen in decades. This anniversary falls at a time of heightened competition where colleges pop up at every highway and in every online arena. This anniversary falls at a time when we are managing an ever-challenging, often worsening financial picture. And this anniversary falls during heightened governmental scrutiny and a constant demand for increasing value and increasing accountability from our very accountability-minded populace. Does it sound daunting? You better believe it. But leadership scholars often argue that challenge is the crucible for greatness. I'll say it again. Challenge is the crucible for greatness. And I believe that we will forge something special for our students here at UC Blue Ash College through our deliberate actions in our journey forward together despite these challenges and pressures. Many of you will recall that I spent the last year studying and learning as a part of a leadership academy in both DC and in Phoenix, working closely with higher education author Jeffrey Salingo and also with the presidents of ASU and Georgetown University. With 24 other fellows from public and private institutions across the country, I gleaned lessons about the challenges and about the opportunities in higher ed. Among the many lessons and ideas that I learned, I found myself encouraged about our future because our mission is at the very intersection of where American higher education is headed. That is the intersection of quality and affordability. In his book, College Unbound, Jeff Salingo wrote, and I quote, "Students need to be looking for a college as much as they need to look for what and how they want to learn and decide what they're preparing for afterward. On campus tours, colleges emphasize the bells and the whistles these days, the fancy dorms, the climbing walls, and the technology-filled classrooms. Do not be distracted," he writes. "Smart students should focus their attention on the quality of teaching, the portability of their credits, and the value a degree or other credential will provide them in the job market." End quote. This is good news for UC Blue Ash. I want you to think of the top trends in higher education and consider them as we move forward together. Number one, students seek personalization of education and greater support services. Number two, students seek a blend of learning modalities, often opting for hybrid classes. Number three, students have been unbundling our degree programs. And what I mean by that is they're taking courses as AP courses, dual enrollment courses, they're taking courses at their colleges, then they're taking courses at regionals or at community colleges over the summer. They are acting like savvier consumers than ever before in education. Number four, students seek fluid timelines, allowing their open admissions and various times and dates of the week to help them to fit school into their very busy lives. And number five, and of course, there are challenging finances, both for the student to pay and for the college to manage the financial future and the financial turbulence. Without question, if you look at the country, the middle class is and will continue to struggle to afford college. These are trends that I want you to pay attention to with me as we journey forward together. These trends, in many ways, can position us to continue to be very successful. You've already heard a lot this morning about the substance of our terrific work to date. I am proud of our passion for student success. You heard it many times this morning: persistence, retention, graduation. This is becoming a graduation-oriented culture, and this is exactly where we need to be, folks. Today, I want to focus my remarks on two major themes, the first of which is the college-wide call for student-centeredness, and the second is the upcoming demands of our culture in order for us to reach our new normal and our great vision. First, the calling of student-centeredness across this college. Sometimes, each of us has to step back and ask ourselves, what is our burning passion? What gets us up in the morning? And what is the thing that has grabbed a hold of us and just will not let go? What stirs us? I believe it is the vision of being a thoroughly student-centered college to realize our student success goals with and for our students. Being a student-centered institution is a major cultural commitment. I think of it personally as a calling. For me, it means that we literally put the student ahead of ourselves, above our own self-interest and above our own preferences. As a mom, for me, it's comparable to the selflessness of parenting. We have to literally commit our culture fully, folks, from top to bottom to our students. Every policy, every recommendation, every decision and action need to be examined for its effect on our students and their success. We are already excited and committed to delivering a really high-quality education with great support services and faculty and staff who care about them at a really low tuition cost. This is our mission and this is our educational niche. However, to achieve the best possible student success outcomes, what I know is this will require us to grow even more student-centered and sometimes less staff-centered, sometimes less faculty-centered. This is our work's life's purpose. Okay, our work life's purpose, to educate them holistically and to build our students into very successful graduates. The good news is we know the problems and we've analyzed the data. Now we are hip deep in the hard work of solving the common problems of our students together. The scope of the problem, however, is large. Nearly 1,000 students, yes, 1/5 of our student body, struggle in our college every year. Yes, we have many, many students, as you know, who need much more help, and we will need to strategically tackle those students' issues in the most data-driven, high-tech, high-touch way possible. And we'll tackle the issues together as a college-wide team. To be clear, this is not a faculty problem, this is not a staff problem, this is not an administration problem, this is a college-wide problem all of us need to solve together. We must journey forward together, we must chase it. We will have to change to chase it. If we are really to make a difference in our student success metric, we will have to change. Many of us are thrilled to be finally in action. We've been talking about this for years. We're finally solving a problem that has frustrated us. Each of us can name many students who could have made it, but they didn't make it. Each knows a student who tripped and dropped out. We are hungry to see a different end. And after putting so many assets, personnel, strategies, and plans in place, I am pleased to report that we are seeing leaps forward in our student success. Our retention figures have improved steadily over the last 3 years. It is gratifying to see, folks. It's so nice to see the payoff. But in order for us to succeed on a much larger scale, each of us will need to contribute more of our time, our talents, and our energy to the same priorities in order to achieve the big jumps that we all desire. Other colleges have done it, and so can we. Year after year, I have seen hundreds of you step up to do this work. Others perhaps have sat back and waited. Others still are missing and need to be pulled back into the college's most important projects. We all must journey forward together for our students. It is critical that we all make it personal. Each one of us is a retention counselor. Our students require your best pedagogy. They require your generous care and support. They require your investment of yourself in them. And they also require a clear understanding of the rules of financial aid to complete their degrees. It's a lot to grasp for them. However, we will journey forward together this year to be more student-centered in many different ways. Here are some examples. This year we will pilot a college-wide common hour to build community with each other and our students on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 12:30 to 1:50, when no classes are offered and everyone can get involved and engaged. Some will gather for student life activities or leadership development or career center activities. Others will gather for arts and humanities events, entrepreneurship speaker series, scholarly lunch and learns, dish with the dean, professional etiquette lunches, the list goes on. What we know is this: community facilitates degree completion. Bringing people together and investing in them will help them. And this year, thanks to the requirement of the Laptop Initiative Task Force, some of our departments will decide that they want to require students to purchase laptops or mobile devices in the future, following the lead of e-media and art and visual communication and nursing. These devices are covered by financial aid, and when we require them in our programs, this action narrows the digital divide. And this year we also welcome our new Hispanic and Latino student coordinator. He will work with us to build our knowledge and expand our networks. He will work to increase our recruitments and extend our support here on campus for our Hispanic and Latino students. Here's what we know, folks: having support for our multicultural and our veteran students has had an impact. Have you heard that our retention of African American students is up by 12% this year? Have you heard that we have an uptick of veteran students here at the college who've increased 20% in 1 year? Having the right support personnel and the right folks here makes a difference. Clearly, if you listen for long, our plans are all about our students. So let's talk about how we can serve our students in a new normal and with new efficiencies and some culture change in order for us to realize our shared vision and our goals. As you've seen over the last 6 months, and as you've heard this morning from Mark Watson, a loss of $2.3 million and a much tighter than preferred budget has forced changes in our behaviors. It has forced us to respond. A number of these budgetary forces have been outside of our control, yet our reaction moving forward is inside of our control. Our enrollments have been steady thanks to advanced planning and hard work from our entire team here at UC Blue Ash. And moving forward, we will need everyone to even be more efficient from here on out in all of our work. And when people say efficiency, sometimes that means that people are pushed to do more with less. I don't think that's sustainable. Instead, I prefer to do less and do it better. We need to be more strategic with our time and our talents. We need to simplify aspects of our workload. We need to clarify what is essential. This may require some of us to stop doing things that aren't serving us well, aren't producing actions, and aren't good uses of our time. We need to find efficiencies wherever we can and continue to review our workload and our policies and cease those that don't produce results for our students. Funny, it can be free to do less and to do it better. Here are some of the ways that the college is moving forward to be more efficient. First, based on the recommendation of a faculty and staff task force, we have reduced the many activities that have long pulled our college into too many non-mission-centric activities and directions. For example, for many years we have hosted many outside groups on campus that did not serve the college in any tangible way. We were a place that groups could rent very inexpensively, placing wear and tear on our facility, not to mention the extra hours for our staff in the evenings and on the weekends. No more. We need to focus. We need to be more strategic and intentional in how we use this place and its people. We recently made a decision to close the Center for Corporate Learning. This December, we need to focus. We recently made a decision to close the Outrageous and Rhythm and Blue Ash programs. We need to focus. We will eat less, or at least the college will provide fewer meals and snacks. We will all be slimmer. And our events lineup will also be slimmer this year, making it easier for all of us to find a greater work-life balance, as we also work to balance our budget this year. So my question for you this morning is this: what will you stop doing this year? Or perhaps, what will you start doing via technology to do something more efficiently? I will tell you from where I sit, opportunities abound, because they are everywhere. There's so many ways that we can do our work better and smarter, but they will require us to learn and to change. An example of the needed efficiency of time and money is the administration of our course evaluations or student perceptions of learning and teaching. This year, we will need all faculty to take the administration of these evaluations online. The old paper system is not serving us well anymore, nor is the mixed method approach that we have been using. Too many touches, too many wasted resources, with nearly 2/3 of our faculty already online with their evaluations. All need to go online from this fall forward. And the response rates, even with the student confusion of mixed methods, offering paper sometimes, online sometimes, was over 52%. And very few faculty requested laptop cart delivery or computer lab reservations, which would have driven the response rate even higher. With those available to you and without assistance and a couple reminders from you, your response rates will soar over 60, which is the paper response rate. In addition, this year we need to offer classes across the full day, not just concentrating through 9 to 2. And I know you teach outside of that, but know this, we are full from 9 to 2. We need to grow into the other times and perhaps use hybrids and make use of our campus and facility that's more efficient. And this year I encourage our faculty and staff to take a cue from the conversations that I keep hearing in hallways and in meetings, and most recently in our strategic planning committee. We need to closely review our committees and our subcommittee structures again to slim them once more. I have read the minutes of our many committee meetings. Many faculty, staff, and I believe that we still have far too many committees, and we have too many of those committees who are not accomplishing enough to count or to be committees and to continue as committees. I have heard colleagues talk about numerous ways that their time or their expertise was not well spent by those committee efforts. We need to re-examine how we all use our time and decide to stop doing so much standing committee work. I challenge the faculty and the staff to once again streamline the committee structure. And in addition to the committees, perhaps some of our policies beg to be revised to simplify our processes. And if some of the policies or the procedures stem from the Dean's Office or from the University of Cincinnati, we are open for feedback, and I'm always happy to ask for change. Imagine how freeing it will be to have fewer must-dos and to have more can-dos and impact our student success outcomes together. Don't misunderstand me, shared governance is very important, but let's make sure that we're governing in ways that we can say that the shared governance is worth discussing and sharing. Shared governance does not just come in the form of a committee assignment. It can come from serving your college and its students in active and very much needed ways that support the plans that we've authored together. Here are some shared governance examples that I believe are more valuable to all of our success, especially our students. As Marlene described this morning, we need more of your help with HLC accreditation work and academic assessment in each of our departments. We need to use that data then from our assessment and then formulate plans for improved learning. All of us need to be engaged in this work. HLC requires it, and they're coming to visit in 2018-19 as Marlene described this morning. It is time to get ready. We also desperately need your help in mentoring and counseling our students who are on academic action. As Greg mentioned earlier this morning, we have a lot of them. Those who cannot perform well but can with your help. We need hundreds of colleagues who are willing to individually build into our students with personalized help and attention, above and beyond what we're currently doing. We need you to keep doing amazing work on the quality initiative. What an incredible amount of work everyone has done. I'm so impressed. Just keep going. We need your help. We need you to delve into the multiple planning efforts that are underway at UC Blue Ash College. This year we are creating our college's first diversity plan. We are creating our first strategic enrollment management plan. We are creating our first distance learning plan, and we are also going to create our college's next strategic plan. So we have lots of work to do together. And we need you to continue to perform servant leadership in your departments where you coordinate courses and coordinate programs and FYE and more. Those are so valuable. We also need you to design and execute program reviews for departments and programs this year because they are in our academic plan, one of the few remaining to-do items on our list, and they're also required by HLC. These are numerous examples of current and critically needed student-centered, mission-oriented shared governance examples. I greatly value these efforts, and I hope to see an abundance of them in your RPT dossiers and in your annual performance reviews. We need your help in serving and leading as we journey forward together. As we all stretch to reach our great vision, I believe that we have to have the courage to see ourselves freshly. We need to reflect upon ways that we can honestly evaluate and innovate. I ask you, what will you start doing? What will you keep doing? What will you stop doing? What will you need to do? What will you need to learn? And how will you change your mind or your heart about how we do this work? I want to spend just a couple of minutes focusing on building a truly interdependent and inclusive UC Blue Ash culture. In hallway conversations, I have heard faculty and staff share that we have a few long-standing cultural aspects that we need to tweak to be the healthiest possible college and culture. It is important that each person here recognize and respect the nature of the college's system. Each of us here plays a role here in the college that is intricately linked to one another. All of our staff and all of our faculty need to be understood and valued for the roles that we play and the value we bring to the system and to the life cycle of our students. And folks, we have really bright, talented faculty and staff who are worth appreciating here. I sometimes think about the life cycle of a student with you and with me and with all of us, and we think about all the different touch points that there are, and each one of them matters. We have so many touch points. There are early life touch points where we have students who come to us from elementary schools and secondary schools for programs like UC Smiles and X's for X-Ray. We have high school touch points where our recruiters go out into the high schools and develop relationships with high school counselors and their students. We have new students who are being served by our orientation team, our one-stop center, our advisors, and our student ambassadors. We have current student experiences with all of the touches inside of your dynamic and life-changing classrooms where you teach them so brilliantly and so passionately, and then mentor them and help them outside the class too. Current students also benefit from all of the help and support, tutoring, advising, mentoring, and advocacy from our professional staff members. And then we serve our alumni and engage them for a lifetime. And even all of the behind-the-scenes operational touches which make all the rest of this work possible and more positive. Ordering and purchasing supplies, answering the telephones, paying us. People like to get paid. Organizing us, countless procedures and processes, managing people and projects, fundraising, providing administrative support, cleaning, mowing, painting, fixing, maintaining, planning, analyzing, and more. We do a lot of work together. And from where I sit, it's obvious. It's so obvious. We are a system that is dynamic and it is interdependent. And if one part of the system isn't working, we all feel it. Without our recruiters, our enrollment suffer, and then so does our budget. Without our housekeepers, our trash will be removed and our space is cleaned, and we know it. If one of our departments doesn't meet our students' or colleagues' needs, we hear about it. Similarly, when all these things go well, and more often than not they do, and they go really well, we know it and we feel it. Sometimes tangibly, sometimes intangibly. We hear from students and colleagues about positive experiences all the time, folks. They write to me often and brag about you. Now, many of you recognize that, and many of you rely on one another to complete your work. And you expect them to complete it well. We expect the best, and many of us will trust one another to do our best work. And while we are so interdependent, what I sometimes see and hear relationally deserves mention. Over the years, I've seen some of our staff and faculty fail to recognize or respect one another for the roles that they play. I have seen faculty who treat staff poorly and vice versa. I have read anonymous survey comments that are pejorative to one one group of employees being below another one being outranked by another. Friends, this is unhealthy. It is just unhealthy. And faculty and staff, let's agree, they are inherently different in their roles. Yet to be a healthy and high-functioning organization, we need to recognize each other, respect one another, appreciate one another's strengths, consult one another more, communicate more often, and realize that the strength that will come from this college will be more because we are an organization that recognizes and respects all of the players in the system. When we feel valued and we feel respected for the way we improve our students' experiences, we work harder, we work better, we work more efficiently. Again, much of the time I see the positive, but it doesn't take a lot of negative to sour the morale in one another. And when we reflect and are intentional about our relationships about each other, and when we work side by side, we see the value more clearly. What I ask for you to do is to please learn about and reflect on the value that you and others bring. We need to journey forward together. One of my favorite aspects of this college is that we agree upon our mission. Many colleges and universities simply do not, and there's great strife and tug because of it. However, agreement in philosophy and mission can get lost in relational ugliness. We need to be more open. We need to be less territorial as we do our work, because we share literal and figurative spaces around our students. For example, sometimes our professional staff also teach courses, and they do a great job. They hold two roles and demonstrate value in both. Similarly, faculty and chairs sometimes administer programs and lead initiatives outside of the classroom, and we need to support them in doing so, because these are very important contributions too. The overlap in student touches makes for close boundaries sometimes. We need to be more tolerant, open, and respectful, and realize that having faculty and staff who care about the same student success will ultimately lead to that student's success. Having multiple faculty and staff investing in our students, ideally side by side, is positive and fruitful for everyone. So I ask you to journey forward together. What will you start doing? What will you keep doing? What will you learn about in this coming year? Will you learn about our finances and your financial footprint and the footprint of your program? Will you think differently about funding and about finances, and rather than ignore it or loathe it, you will learn about it and then understand it and know how to manage our finances better? Will you share your dreams with our grant writer so that she can land lots of extra money for us? I hope that you will. Will you bring your friends and your family and your neighbors to run and walk with us in the 5K on October 10th? This is a fundraiser that goes entirely to scholarships, something that we need more than anything. I hope you will. Will you continue to grow our culture of philanthropy here by making a faculty and staff gift each year? Or perhaps might you go deeper and farther and think about making a major gift or a planned gift? These are important things to think about because our students' success really hinges oftentimes around finance. I don't know if you know this, but our students have the greatest unmet financial aid need of any college at the university, and this is not an area we want to lead. If we grow our scholarship dollars internally and externally through funding, through grants, through the 5K, through your gifts, we can make a huge difference, because oftentimes really good students drop out for one simple reason: they cannot afford it. There are so many opportunities that each of you can strengthen this culture in this college. And one of my new favorite sayings, get ready, you'll hear it often, is that leadership is a practice. We practice leadership every day. Sometimes we do it well, sometimes we don't do it as well. But each day and every school year, we get to start afresh with an amazing opportunity to impact our students. Let's focus together on the good, let's focus on the possible, on the positive, and on our students. Each day you get to rechannel your energy as you cross the paths of our students. Please extend yourself this year without being asked. Please offer help when a student stumbles, and please provide information that you believe that the student needs. I see examples of greatness every single day. I see great leadership here every single day. I see you walking lost and confused students to the room that they need or the person they need rather than pointing them in a general direction. I hear you speaking kindly to students and laughing with them in the hallways or in your offices. Without question, our students feel cared for and they feel included thanks to you. I see you exercising patience and professionalism even when the family member and the student have not earned it. They learn from your example in that teachable moment. I witness you calling your colleagues and your students by name because you know that it doesn't feel good to be a title or an M number. I review grievances where you have demonstrated rigor and fairness with our students. And while some students will not like the outcome, they respect the process, and I understand that strict adherence to policies in your class is absolutely critical. I see you working late, I see you coming in early, I see you working really hard. I see you carrying an extra workload for your ill colleague. I see you teaching our students, challenging them to learn and to master their abilities. They love you and are so doggone grateful. I hear them rave about the way that you change their lives and by doing the work that you do. Now, what they tell me is they want to be you. And so, you see, you're not just setting a great example, you're an example that is worth emulating. I could list hundreds of examples because, frankly, you impress me. So get ready, folks. Your opportunity is coming. In 6 short days, our students will flood our beautiful campus once more. And with them, they will bring a lifetime of enormous dreams and big ambitions. And they also bring their complicated lives, their self-doubt, and their relational problems, and of course, their financial barriers. We have infinite chances to make a difference at this college. And I often tell our students that their graduation starts today. The cumulative effect of their decisions and their actions today and every day will lead our students to reach graduation. We need to all help them to focus and make it to the finish line. I can lead and I can work hard, but it's a numbers game. Not one of us can personally help all 5,000 students, but all of us selflessly fixing what is not working here, removing inefficiencies, personally helping many students, and practicing student-centered leadership, then we have the potential to nudge and push thousands of students to their goal of graduation. You've heard our slogan, we make it possible, you make it happen. Let's embody our slogan by making it possible for our students to succeed. Let's show them how. My second term as your dean has begun. Think of all that we have achieved over the last 5 years. It has been simply remarkable. And now, we have 5 remaining years ahead of us. I am committed to the hard work ahead, and I ask you, I beg of you, please join us in this journey forward together. Thank you very much.